Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another movie review. Today I am reviewing the not so great Batman vs. Dracula. Now, if you are like me and enjoy animated Batman movies, this one is one that you should bypass altogether because it's really got terrible script and the writing is just cringe-worthy and the animation really isn't that great at all. It's not even worthy of being spoofed. You could spoof it, I'm sure, but it's just so corny and hackneyed, and I don't mean to be mean, but it's just some of the lines are just awful. And I never really cared for the series, the Batman, just because of that. It just wasn't my cup of tea. But there's a mystery in Gotham, and the inhabitants are being transformed into grotesque vampires, basically, because what happens is after the Joker is sprung from Arkham, the Penguin goes along with him, and he goes into a crypt where supposedly there's a huge treasure located, and he sees that he says, "This isn't pay dirt, this is just dirt." I thought, oy, ugh. Anyway, but he accidentally cuts himself, and it's interesting to know. But Tom Kenny, one of my favorite people in the whole entire world, as a voice actor, does yet another voice of a villain. Like in Adventure Time, he does the voice of the Ice King, and this version of Batman, he provides the voice for one of my favorite villains, Oswald Cobblepot, i.e. the Penguin, aka the Penguin, I should say, i.e. because that's for example. Excuse me. But anyway, he slices himself accidentally, and the blood from his hand drips into the crypt, and then Dracula rises from the dead. And at first, Oswald says he wants nothing to do with being a servant. He says, "Don't you know who I am? Cobblepots are nobody's servants." And then Dracula looks at him and hypnotizes him, and he says, "Pleased to meet you. Penguin's my name." And he bows, and he serves him. And BrightStar recommended this to me. I did enjoy it. I think it's a 2-star film at the best, and really I can't give it much more than a 2-star rating because I really wasn't all that impressed by it, even though I am a big fan of vampires and vampire movies, and it just didn't move me, and there were parts of it that, to be honest with you, it just sort of went over my head. Well, not really went over my head. I was just bored by them because it was really not much plot whatsoever. And even I could figure out who the mysterious guest was at the dinner party where Bruce was invited, and Count Alucard starts asking him. Actually, says Dr. Alucard. He starts asking him questions and wants to know about his background, and he can't get anything from him. He's like a Chinese puzzle. So he looks into his eyes and hypnotizes him, and then he is able to tap into his conscience and his psyche and delve up all of his deep, dark secrets. And it's just really not that great of a film. But there was a scene in the very end that I really enjoyed, which she described to me, where he kidnaps Vicky Vale and tries to suck the soul out of her and put her soul into the ashes, or becoming a new bride for him. I think her name was Constance or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but she suffered the worst fate that any vampire can suffer, which kills them for forever, which is basically being exposed to the sun. Exposure to the sun is the ultimate deterrent of a vampire. It just obliterates them completely, turns them into dust. And if you've seen Interview with the Vampire, then you know what I'm talking about. But this this transference of her soul material, Vicky's soul material, into Constance didn't work because Bruce had figured out the way to reverse the effect of vampirism on the populace of Gotham. So this scene in the end is what I really, really like, because it reminds me of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and how Helsing would go after him, and they were always in constant contention with one another. But it reminded me of a scene from Van Helsing and that matter. But beyond that, it's just really not all my cup of tea, and it could have been a lot better, but it really wasn't, and it was just really way too cheesy for my liking. So if you want to see a really good animated Batman film, then I would stick to Mask of the Phantasm, Batman, Mr. Freeze. It's actually called Sub-Zero. Yes, Sub-Zero, Batman Beyond, and that's the one that features the reboot of the Joker, which is one of my absolute favorites. I just love that movie. I haven't seen any other ones, though I should probably rent the new one that has just arrived, so I'll check it out. So I will let you know. I still have a few movies to look at, and I will just go over them right now, and I will just read them off one by one. Hoodwinked 2, Hood vs. Evil, Army of Darkness, X-Men Origins Wolverine, SpongeBob SquarePants, Wizards, Sucker Punch, Spiderwick Chronicles, and Johnny Quest: The Real Adventures of Season 1. So I wish they would make more than one season of that, but they haven't. So basically that's all I have to say, and I will catch you on the flip side.